You couldn't get in here. Yeah, we have, 30 eggs that we got to eat in the next 10 days. Do you think we can do it?
Oh yeah.
So, bacon. I wanted to use most of what we had. We have a lot of dairy. We had cream cheese, and I want to use all that heavy cream because you got the big thing, the Big Daddy. It's a breakfast casserole that I got the idea. I said, this is what I want to use, Grok. I have an air fryer, I have a skillet. I don't want to use the oven because You're probably wondering why I look this way, and that's because my hair dryer and diffuser at my mom's house. So.
And her husband offered to buy her a new one.
So we're waiting on an AC guy, but I can't use the oven because it's really hot upstairs. I don't want to add to it. And our downstairs, we do have a unit for the downstairs, so it could definitely be worse. I'm not, I'm trying not to complain. I'm grateful that we have the downstairs that is cool and we're not uncomfortable, that kind of thing. It's just one of those things, when it rains, it pours. So I got to figure this out. We have 10 days until we're moving out. I'm going to try to figure out how I can use what food I have and see if I can do it with my air fryer and a skillet. We'll also have to use up the food, that we have in the refrigerator. We don't have a lot, so it's fine. I'm going to use bacon, eggs, cheese, just the, shredded cheese in a bag, some cream cheese, and heavy cream. So I used 8 eggs. I cracked them. I do have a couple of whisks. Now I'm checking the AI to see what I need to do next. So 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And I could have mixed the eggs and the cream cheese a little bit differently. I was doing this very carefully because I did not think I had bowls, but I did. I do have mixing bowls, but I guess I just didn't want to use them. So this is just the eggs and the heavy cream. So now I move on, and I softened the cream cheese, but the mistake I made with the cream cheese is that because I don't have a mixer or anything, I just couldn't get it mixed in, incorporated very well. If you have any tips on how to incorporate cream cheese into an egg mixture, please let me know because I never can figure it out. This whole time I have been air frying bacon, and I've used bacon grease in the bottom of this skillet, and I did it very carefully. I think I added too much bacon grease, but I air fried the bacon, and I'll get more to that in a second, but I'm just layering some mozzarella cheese. I'm using what I have. That was the whole goal of this, to use the perishable items that I have. So this is actually 7 pieces of bacon. I made 8, but I ate 1. You do want it pretty crispy. So I cooked my bacon in batches, 2 different batches. Bacon for this, crispier. Cooking time really varies a lot with the bacon, I have found, because due to the thickness or whatever. So I think I did 400 for 12 minutes on all, in 2 batches, 4 pieces in each batch, because even my larger air fryer, I can only get like 4 pieces in there. So now I'm just, adding more cheese. I hadn't added enough cheese to the bottom of the skillet. And because 7 pieces of bacon is quite a bit of crumbled bacon. So I just layer it in there. And, I was really pleased with how this kind of came together, using, the AI as a tool and just saying, this is what I have and this is what I need to do. It was a pretty simple task, and I'm glad that I was able to take advantage of that. I will put the recipe, the ingredients and all that in the description of this video. I do like my cheese to get a little more brown on top as I add the egg mixture in, so you can see all the clumps of cream cheese. But I do like, I top it with more mozzarella cheese. It didn't get, very crispy because, like I said, I'm not using the oven or the broiler. So that's fine. It really turns out, I think, pretty well. So I'm just dumping all that cheese on there, using up what we have. I have a whole nother bag for, that I got to get to this week. So I just kind of moving it around. And then of course I'm using Redmond's real salt to salt it. This is pretty salty by nature just because of the bacon. 10 minutes and then I'll check it. So it's a breakfast casserole that I got the idea. I said, this is what I want to use guac. I have an air fryer, I have a skillet. I don't want to use the oven because of the AC being out. I have bacon, eggs, a lot that we have to eat.
Yeah.
A half gallon. So, you know, I want as little of the food that we have to go to waste as possible. I want to use as much as we can. So I just put it into grok and it gave me the recipe.
Use crock for the crock.
So I'll be back. We'll be back. All right. At this point, I'm checking it because I'm thinking, oh no, is this a recipe disaster? I have a hilarious story from when Dale and I were first married and I tweaked a recipe a little too much. So make sure to stay to the end for that. This is why I think there was a little too much bacon grease in the bottom of the skillet. So I did, you know, dab it, soak it up, absorb it a little bit just because, I mean, it's quite a little bit. That's why I think it's too much bacon grease that I used. But I also didn't want the cheese on the bottom layer to cook too quickly. This is cooked at the lowest level. So, you know, I don't know, I would tweak that a little bit more also. And so I just keep prodding it and checking it. And is it set? It was totally set. It also fell. I would do 15 minutes at the lowest heat. I don't know what it's like in there. We're gonna let it sit for 3 minutes. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna do some eating and try it and let you know. I'll come back and share with you my thoughts. Actually has a consistency right there of one of the Starbucks egg bites. Where is the camera? Oh, there you are. But toward the middle, I don't know. I'll have to let you know. So I'll be back with more thoughts.
We can't wait till the AC goes.
This is Dale's.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. Now I promise it will not hurt my feelings if you don't like it.
Is it gonna be like the cheeseburger meatloaf?
That was not very good. I'll explain later. Now stay here and try it on camera.
Okay, well, if I vomit,
Huh?
it's kind of hard to cut when you hold the plate.
This isn't hot.
What's the bottom? Is that cheese?
Yeah.
That's good.
You like
2
it?
thumbs up. I'm holding the plate. Delicious. There you are.
Good. So when Dale and I we've been married a couple of years, it was before I had the girls, I got an idea to make a meatloaf, but I didn't want to make it just any regular meatloaf. So Dylan was about 9 and Dale and I got a cookbook, I got a recipe off online and it was, oh gosh, who was it? What's her name? Who's that lady? Paula Deen. It was a Paula Deen recipe for cheeseburger meatloaf. We don't like mustard. We don't like pickles or relish. So I tweaked. Huh?
Sweet pickles you like?
Anyway, I tweaked it a lot.
You need it, so.
And it did not turn out well.
What?
It did not turn out. Okay, so it was really gushy. Because I tweaked it too much. I'm trying to tell them about the cheeseburger meatloaf and you two are bickering. I'm leaving that in. You're in trouble. So it was real runny and, and Dylan did not want to eat it. I think he did take a couple bites because Dale had whispered to him, you gotta try it, just try it, you know, try a bite. So I sat down after they ate it. Dale had eaten a whole piece of it. I sat down, I was eating, I was like, this is terrible. And Dale had gotten sick.
I've already eaten 2 big pieces.
He'd already eaten 2 big pieces. Oh, it was so funny. So it was hilarious. Don't let your meatloaf. All right, so a couple things I would do differently. I would not put as much bacon grease down. I would put more of a layer of cheese. I would cook it the whole time very low on the lowest possible heat. We have a gas stovetop, so I would just leave it on that for 15 minutes with the lid on. I would check it at 10 minutes. I could tell that it was still kind of jiggly in the middle. And if you know, all of our stuff wasn't packed, I would use a blender or a mixer for the eggs and the cream cheese. I could have softened it a little bit more and incorporated it into the egg mixture a little bit easier, if that way. If I had softened it more, it would have mixed more. Instead, there were clumps of it and it kind of rose to the top. But you get what you get when you're working without an AC upstairs, an air fryer, and a skillet, and I wanted to use what we had and what was not packed, and use up a lot of the ingredients that we have in the fridge that are perishable that we can't take with us. All right, let me know if you try this. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Bye.